Hello, friends from Five Reasons. Welcome back to our second edition of Marlins on Tap, brought to you thanks to our friends from Biscayne Bay. I was there at Lone Depot Park today and went by how do they call it? Let me see, the Biscayne Bay Brew Hall. It's awesome. You guys have to go there. You can watch the game and really enjoy a beer while you're there. I mean, the Marlins are not going to score anyway, so you guys
No.
better just go ahead and visit that section of the stadium, still watch the game and get yourself a beer and enjoy some baseball while you're there. So we're back at it. We're here with Alana Alfonso and Christian Chase. We're going to go ahead and review the first two series the Marlins played this season. Just one win in 6 games for the Marlins. A lot of great pitching performances. Not so great on defense, not so great on offense. How are you guys doing? And how do you guys feel after losing so many times in such a short span of time? We're going to start with Alana. How are you, Alana?
I think some of my tears have fallen into my drink. Basically, I was excited after spring training, but this happened in 2019 also, right? So
Yeah.
the difference was we thought we had, our set position players this spring, right? We were only looking for like 3, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
We weren't looking for that many positions. We felt kind of set, right? Our pitching has been amazing, and we don't have anything to back it up. We have been shoving. Our starters have been doing great, and we have nothing to show for it. And it's depressing. It's sad. And I want to pull my hair out.
Yeah, I know it's been rough the first 6 games. Christian, only 8 runs allowed by the starting pitchers in something around 30 innings, somewhere around there. It's been almost. I'm not gonna say perfect because we've had a couple of bad innings there. Trevor Rogers with a bad inning, Samuel Alcantara with a bad inning. But other than that, the startings are doing their job. At least that's a positive out of these first 6 games, right?
Yeah, I mean, just like the stat that really popped out to me yesterday while I was watching the game, and I'm pretty sure it held true through today, is that the Marlins starting pitching has the lowest opponent's batting average against in the entire major leagues, and they are 1-5 to show from it. I don't think this is definitive of the entire season. There were stretches last year, even when the Marlins, made the playoffs, won a series in the playoffs, where they were 1-5. I mean, they started 7-1 and ended just a little bit above 500. There were points where they were below 500, where they went on these streaks. I think it's a little more evident because it's at the start of the season and there's nothing else to go off of. But the starting pitching is there. The bats need to wake up, and to some extent they will. They're extremely unlucky when it comes to like their ball in play batting average, how hard they're hitting the ball in this stadium, and just not seeing hits in place of ABs that should turn into hits in most parks. The bullpen just needs time to, get back into a groove of things, pitching every day. I don't think this is, the Marlins are in the worst shape in the world. The starting pitching is where we want it to be, and that's what this team's built on. They just need a little bit more run support, which will come with time, and the bullpen will come as they, get more comfortable in the Marlins uniform.
Yeah, in that first series against the Rays, it looked like the main problem was the bullpen, right? We allowed a lot of runs. We actually could have won 2 out of 3 against the Rays if Anthony Bass gets that save, and then if we win on Saturday like we did against the Rays. But in this particular series against the Cardinals, it was more of the lack of offensive production. It was hard for them to get on base, and when they actually got on base, it was hard for them to hit a sac fly, to hit a base hit with a man on base. How frustrating was it for you? How was that experience, Alana?
Oh my God. So frustrating. So you see these guys go, I mean, to be fair, we are hitting the ball really hard. We're just hitting it to players. We're hitting it direct. Like, I see so many line drives. I want like an exit velo, like clock out there too. Like, I feel like they have a pitch speed count, right? They should have an exit velo. I want to see how hard the balls are being hit, because they are hitting the balls pretty hard. They're just going directly into players' gloves, and it's kind of annoying.
It's been a little bit of bad luck as well as just bad swings, I guess, because today was just rough. We had only one base hit until the eighth inning, and that was Corey Dickerson in the first inning, and then he got out running bases, which was just
Terrible.
Yeah.
I
And you
didn't
have
understand what he was
Set
trying
the
to do.
tone for the entire game right there in the
Yeah.
first.
Right.
yeah, that was
So
everything.
so I don't know. How many innings, especially the last two games against the Cardinals, how many innings? Because their pitchers didn't look that great, but when you look at their stat line, it looked like they were aces. The three of them. I mean, we only scored what 3 runs in the last 3 games. In the last 3 games, yeah, because we didn't score any yesterday or today. So I don't know, man. I know it's only 6 games into the season, but I mean, they have to figure out something else to do. Today, Brinson got an at bat. It was just awful, god awful. So
I will pay anyone
He
to
had a
take
nice
him
swing.
away. He
It was-
can't hit a
it was
beach
just
ball.
can we what? Say that again, Chase.
It was just foul. He had a nice swing halfway through the bat that looked
Oh
like
yeah. It's right.
it was
Yeah,
just foul. You know,
that's
those are the hits
but
that like, we're talking about. Like,
but you knew right
Oh
after that. You knew like okay, that bat is over. He's
no, he's striking out from there. Like,
yeah
we know.
for sure.
He's gone.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I mean, we kind of had a little bit of a rotation. We saw everybody. We saw Cooper. We saw Duval. We saw Chisholm playing shortstop today, for example. Berti getting to start on second. Rojas getting a little bit of a day off because they're going to play tomorrow against the New York Mets at noon over there. So it's kind of a rough back-to-back kind of games. I don't know, man. I mean, and they don't have a lot of options. Sierra is there, but he's not a offensive threat. He's more of a pinch runner kind of guy. I mean, they don't have a lot of people to go to at this moment, and I don't know, man. I feel like it's 1-5, but it feels like it could have been 3-3 and maybe 4-2, especially with the way the pitchers did their job, the starting pitchers, because it was. I mean, Sandy was great for 2 games. Pablo was great for 2 games as well, so that should have been at least 4 games that we could have been a little bit closer to actually winning. And I know we faced Glasnow the first day, and Flaherty is supposed to be an ace or one of the best pitchers of that team. But especially in that first inning, those are the type of innings that last year, you remember how good the Marlins were with men on scoring positions and 2 outs. That's not happening this season. It's just I guess I mean it's a little too early to call, but it's just not clutch hitting so far this season. So
How
I
many men
guess
have we left on base?
It'll come. It'll come with time. Believe
Well-
me, this team will figure the bats
you
will
think
figure
so?
it out.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. I am positive there will be a different run where they go 5-1 instead of 1-5
Well, hopefully.
when the hits fall. It
So
will happen.
You'd hope so with 162 games.
Yeah,
You'd,
hope
you'd
so.
hope so.
So, Alana, here's the answer to your question. So it was 23 runners in this series against the Cardinals, and I mean that's just too many. And now they're gonna face the Mets and the Braves back to back. So here we come, and because we didn't start facing our NL East rivals right away, we went into I would say difficult opponents. I mean the American League champion right now in the race, and then the Cardinals, who are a playoff team.
Who
a
got
good team.
swept?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so now we're gonna face our NL East opponents, and that's gonna be a little bit of a. I mean, we need to win. I know it's early, but you can get 2 back in this race because it's gonna be very even. And the first one is the Mets. So how are you feeling about the Mets, Chase?
We played the Mets all throughout last year. They added Carlos Carrasco and Francisco Lindor. I don't know how much
McCann,
value. And
and
McCann. I mean, they added a bunch of guys, but it's still the Mets. The Marlins, they played them a lot last year. Obviously, they play them a lot every year. There's something to said about that comfort level. There's also, when you're going up against good teams that you're not seeing consistently, like the Cardinals and the Rays, there's a different element to the game. You're seeing these guys for the first time. The Mets, we're going to be seeing guys over and over again that we beat last year. This series is extremely important. If we get swept and start 1-8, the Marlins are going to be in a terrible spot, and there's going to be they're really like a 1-8 start. There's no coming back from that. It sets the tone for the rest of the year.
Well, Here's the difference between the 60 game season and the 162. It's like you get. I mean,
1-8 and
you
162
still
is
have
still
time,
yeah.
man. It's bad, but you still have time. That's a bad thing. It's gonna be a long season, but you still have. I mean, you still have a lot of. I mean, I know it's hard to start 1-8, but and I hope they win at least one game because then they're gonna face the Braves over there, and we know what happens every time we face the Braves. So they better get as many wins as they can against the New York Mets coming soon. And we don't know who's gonna start tomorrow. That's another thing that we're not clear about because Eliezer Hernandez got out; he's injured right now, and now they're probably gonna use one of the young guys. Nick Netter could be an option that they're still not sure about it. I'm sure Don Mattingly will define it early tomorrow or whatever, so that the Mets don't really know who they're facing. And we're not facing the Grom right away, which is good. Last year we faced him like 5 times or 6 times, I don't know, and it was awful for us. So I don't know, man. I feel like I'm happy because we knew that this starting rotation is going to be good, and Sixto Sanchez is not here yet, so that it's probably going to be even better if that's possible. The thing is, we need to score some runs to kind of give these pitchers a chance to compete, because if not, I mean, you saw it all throughout this series against the Cardinals. I mean, we started losing the first game. Trevor Rogers had a rough first inning, 3 walks and a double. By the way, Molina just killed the Marlins this series. Just a 3-run double, a sac fly yesterday to take the lead, and today he hit that home run to a 2-run shot. Yeah, and especially with that was with 2 outs and nobody on. Lopez walked Carpenter, and then that bomb came. So I don't know, man. It's frustrating, I guess, for Marlins fans, but you have to be patient. I mean, you have this lineup. You have some guys that are probably not going to be here next year, all the veteran guys. So this is like a bridge kind of season in that regard. But you actually have a team that can compete. I mean, Starling Martin's hitting the ball well. Aguilar's hitting the ball well. Dickerson's hitting the ball a little bit better in these last couple of games. Rojas was hitting the ball well, and he got the day off today, and that's fine. I mean, that was 5 games in a row. They play tomorrow, and they take a day off on Friday, which is weird that they're doing this off days, kind of odd days in this season. But what I'm saying is, like, they have 4 or 5 guys that are hitting the ball well. They're just not finding the way to put those hits together, which is key for the Marlins to actually get some runs, because we're not a team that's gonna hit the ball out of the park all the time. I mean, the Cardinals hit what? How many home runs? At least 1 per game in this series, and that was enough to win games.
The Rays.
Yeah, so did the Rays. It looked like every time a reliever was coming in, the Marlins they allowed a home run. That's just how it went for the first couple of games. So I don't know how, Alana, about the relief pitching. Are you concerned, or are you more concerned about the offense at this point?
A combination of the two, I guess, because you need both. I mean, I feel like a lot of people were excited about the relief pitching, especially since it was kind of like a rebuild, right? So
yeah,
everyone was like, hey, we got these young guys, and they've been pretty experienced so far. So it's a win-win. We're young and we're experienced, and look at us, and then we're coming in and we look like we got the yips. Like, what is happening? And I mean, and then you look at the offense, and you just got to put the ball in play. All right, don't get me started on Alfaro trying to swing out of his shoes. Okay, when you have runners in scoring position, just put the ball in play. Move your runner third. Okay, like, do your job. There's no outs. What are you doing? And no, we want to swing for the fences. Okay, it looks like the Grand Canyon to the whole team. All right, like, no, there's too much space out there apparently. So it's a combination of the two. I need both, and the bullpen probably is a little more, but the bats need to start getting hot.
Yeah, especially with those hits that you were talking about. I think that's where Chase was talking about, because I mean, the Marlins are getting some hard hits, and like today, Brian Anderson hit one that was almost 400 feet. That could have been out anywhere else, but he hit it to center field, so that's an out. And that's something that's just playing against the Marlins at this point. It used to help him a little bit. For pitchers, is good because it kind of have a little better option of keeping guys in the yard. But I guess it affects you as an offense, especially an offense that is struggling so much to produce. What are the home runs this year? I think it's Cooper had one, and then Duvall had one. That was at the end of the Rays game, and that's about it. So not a lot of power there. Not a lot of power. But I guess, I mean, this is just starting. I know it's frustrating. It's 1-5, especially with those outings. I mean, it feels like the Marlins should have been 5-1 if they had a productive team, and we would be so happy to be following the Marlins closely. But it'll be better, hopefully. And tomorrow the Marlins will play the New York Mets, and that will be a 3-game series. Again, they're gonna rest on Friday, so they're gonna take that day off, and then they're gonna play Saturday and Sunday, and then on Monday they're gonna start another series against the Atlanta Braves. So this just keeps going, guys. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna finish this one off right here. Chase is gonna prepare a little short review of the series, of the game, and everything that went on today. Pablo Lopez having a great performance, snapping a streak of 16 innings and 2/3 without allowing any runs. That's impressive. Remember last year when Sandy got out and all the other guys got out because of COVID, it was Pablo Lopez who was the kind of the ace of the team because Sixto wasn't there yet. So this year he's been a great number 2 guy. I know we talked about the possibility of having Sixto Sanchez coming as a second starter, but I like what Pablo is doing, and I think he's deserving that spot so far. So thank you guys for joining me. Tomorrow we're gonna watch Marlins baseball again at 1 p.m. I think that's the starting time. That's the actual starting time at New York. So go ahead and enjoy the Marlins games. And from starting today, Chase Christian is gonna have a little bit of a summary. It's a short what's going on every game. Go and face the New York Mets. We're gonna start with Atlanta.
Wait, you were kind of breaking up there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to repeat that.
We didn't hear you. Me and Chase were like,
okay.
What's
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Final message before we go and face the New York Mets for Marlins fans.
Oh, okay. Let's get all Faro out of here, please.
What about Brinson?
Him too.
Him too. Trade them both for a bucket of balls, okay? A used bucket of balls. I'll take anything. I do not care at this point. I'll pay you.
My thoughts are that Marlins fans should not be worried. I think everything will turn out. Again, we didn't expect this team to be a total playoff team this year. The Marlins have talent offensively and defensively. The biggest thing that you should watch out for are the bats. Don Mattingly said himself when I asked him about the set lineups going forward that he is going to continue to keep switching guys out. I'm not sure if that's the best of ideas, especially at the start of a season when everyone is trying to find comfort, hitting in a new season, especially in a tough ballpark like Miami. So look for the bats to wake up on the road with smaller ballparks, better dimensions, better hitting conditions. And if they do, I think we should have a good 2 series in New York and Atlanta ahead of us.
Well, hopefully that's the case, and we're going to be back next week for another Marlins on Tap. So thank you guys, and see you soon here on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. Have a good one.